The 5-year assessment model for Activate came about based on some underpinning assessment principles that we had from the start of developing Activate. The first is that all assessment activities in Activate inform both teaching and learning so that teachers can improve their teaching and learners can improve their learning. They're based on accessible learning outcomes that are agreed and understood between the teacher and the learner. We have opportunities for peer and self-assessment with most of our assessment activities. Students are able to get feedback or feedback to each other through self-assessment, peer assessment and through teacher assessment. And the important thing is that they're able to respond to that feedback. And finally, many of the activities we produce, particularly the tests, produce usable data that teachers can track and monitor and intervene on learners' progress. The 5-year assessment framework is focused on 4 key areas. First of all, the content, but also the working scientifically elements. And in addition, we have got a focus on developing math skills in science and literacy in science. So we had our bands in Activate that you'll be aware of called Developing, Secure and Extending. AQA had their own bands which were equivalent, and their first was Know, Apply and Extend. These were linked to the old levels, so Developing and Know were linked to level 3 and level 4. Secure and Apply were linked to levels 5 and 6, and Extending or Extend was linked to levels 7 and 8. For Key Stage 4, how this looks for when they get to the end of Key Stage 4, we again used a banding system. In Activate, we looked at those that were aiming for grade 4 as the first band, those were aiming for grade 6 in the second band, and in the third band, those that were aiming for grade 8. This meant we could divide the grade 1 to 9 into 3 chunks, the first chunk being grades 1 to 3, the second grades 4 to 6, and the final grades 7 to 9. So finally, we looked at the level of demand of the questions and split those into 3. We've got low demand, medium demand and high demand. The low demand questions are those for the aiming for grade 4. For those aiming for grade 6 are the medium demand questions. And finally, the high demand questions are for those aiming for grade 8. For those aiming for grade 9, we put aside a separate way of identifying those students and putting some extension activities to help them stand a good chance of getting their grade 9.